So we have spent a little bit of time, I think, to use the correct word to describe this, stunned
Freaking
at
out.
how expensive some concert tickets have become. And I guess most recently it's been, I think, a battle between Beyonce and her world tour and Taylor Swift on her world tour to see who can charge the most amount of money.
It's gross, though. It's just
It is
gross.
And the question is, well, can anything be done about it? So in the U.S., they've had congressional hearings on this, which look good. Don't know if they change anything at the end of the day. But here in Canada, this was an interesting poll. So they did a poll asking people, Canadians, how much money would you be willing to spend on a concert ticket? The answer, I read this the first time and thought this has got to be a misprint. It turns out most Canadian, well, I'll let the guest tell us. How's that? That way I'm off the hook.
I have a lot of questions about this amount.
Let's go to it. Rhiannon O'Donohoe is a PR strategist for Casino.org. She's on the line right now. So you were involved in this, Rhiannon, in this study?
I was, yeah. I conducted the study, and then I sent out the campaign to you guys.
Okay, so then let our audience know, because I can't believe the number. What is that number that most Canadians said in the study they'd be willing to spend on a concert ticket?
Yeah, so the nationwide average is $738.21.
No,
What?
no, it isn't. No.
What?
I mean, I know it
Unfortunately,
is.
it is.
I know. I can't accept that. I just can't. How is that for 2 tickets plus beers and transport, or is that literally just one concert ticket?
So that encompasses the following: gas price to cover the amount of kilometers they're willing to drive, and the ticket, the additional cost to get better seats, and an overnight stay for these concerts.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then I completely misread this. It includes an overnight stay. That's going to be a couple of $100.
That makes you feel a little bit, but it means they're willing to spend that much on the total experience. Okay, I'm suddenly feeling a whole lot better.
Yeah, me too.
Because
Yeah,
go
that's
ahead.
for one person, though. So if you're going to bring an entire family or another friend,
Right.
that can easily double or triple
Well,
as
but you
well.
can share a room.
Still. And
What
split
about a
gas
concert
prices.
ticket? What about a concert ticket itself? Is that part of the study?
Yeah, so nationwide average for an individual concert ticket is $281.46.
Ouch.
Average.
That's
Average.
Do you remember I remember when Van Morrison, and we're going to sound like old fogies
Yeah,
here,
we
but
are
I
the
remember-
old timers here looking back
I
on when it cost $6 to see
No,
the Beatles in
no,
1964.
that's not where I'm going. I remember when Van Morrison came to Place des Arts, and it's a
Yeah.
long time ago. It was before I was a mom, so it's got to be at least 10 years ago. And the tickets were $150 to $220, and
and we
everybody
freaked.
was freaking
Yeah.
out. They were like, "What the hell? Who would pay that to see Van Morrison?" And it sold out. And I feel like ever since then, it's just been a skyward trajectory. So I guess what I want to know here, Rhiannon, is have the tickets exponentially gone up over the last few years, or has it been a gradual increase?
I definitely think so. I think now that we're post-COVID right now, and artists like Beyonce and Taylor Swift are only coming to Canada a few amount of times compared to like the States or international dates, people are willing to spend whatever because they don't know when the next time will be for them.
And you broke it down so that $281.46, that's what Canadians are willing to spend to see their favorite artist. You broke that down to being on average 12.5% of monthly income going towards tickets.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So how many shows are we talking? Does that give you a sense of how many shows people are trying to see and trying to afford to see?
It depends on the person.
Okay.
I mean, I ask people how much they're willing to spend for their dream concert or music festival. So who knows how many there are in each province or city. So it really depends on the person.
You know, can I ask, were you surprised at these numbers?
I was very surprised to see how far they're willing to travel for their dream concert or music festival, because 808.2 kilometers seems very long for me.
Well, of course, now we hear people flying across the continent. I mean, you mentioned Taylor Swift, so I think I read a piece just today. They announced new tour dates for Taylor Swift. There's not a single Canadian tour date for the entire tour, which means if you want to go see her, good luck. Get on a plane or drive to the States, I guess.
I wouldn't blame them. I mean, they've been waiting for a while, and they clearly are willing to spend X amount of money, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm going to ask a question that I don't really expect you to have the answer to, but I'm like, who are these rich people? How, like, I cannot imagine your average person.
Yeah.
How are they possibly affording this? And did you get a sense that they're making sacrifices so as to be able to go see some of their favorite artists?
I definitely think so. But again, maybe they've been saving for this for a few years because artists don't go to Canada as much as the States or Europe, for example.
Why?
So maybe they've been having this in savings for a while.
Okay. And then how does Quebec compare to other provinces? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so Quebec was our province that would spend the least on tickets.
Yes.
Their province cost was about $622.79. So about half of Newfoundland and Labrador's total cost.
Okay, now I wonder if that's because Newfoundland and Labrador, A, they get fewer concerts, B, they'd have to travel farther to be able to see them. I imagine there's only a couple of major venues there, or the artists aren't necessarily coming to Newfoundland and Labrador, right? So maybe they're traveling further. And I also wonder if Quebec... I mean, I'm just bear with me here as I work my try to get my brain to
You're not doing
process
math,
these
are you?
numbers. I'm not. No,
Okay.
I avoid math at all costs, Rhiannon. Just so you know. But the $622.79 that Quebecers are willing to spend, I think we have our own star system here, and so people would be going to see local
good
artists
point.
as much or more, perhaps, than they would be going to see the big stars. I don't suppose there's any way of knowing that, though, is there?
No, so the study didn't collect any data on that, but I did come to the same conclusions as you, just based off the numbers that I got.
Okay. And then what about, are there any gender breakdowns? Are women or non-binary or men, who's willing to spend more on concert tickets?
Yeah, let me see if I can find that really quickly.
That's interesting because you'd think it would be more girls, more women going to see someone like a Taylor Swift than it would be guys.
Yeah, but
right?
I know, like Dave's buddy just forked out a ton of money for Bruce Springsteen to the point where he's now, they're like, what do you paid how much for those tickets and you want us to go in? Like they're not so sure they want to go in on it because it's that expensive.
It's amazing, too, when you consider that the people, the money being spent on tickets for some of the acts that have been around for 30 and 40 years. Like Springsteen's been around for 40 years,
because you
50
worry
years.
it's your last chance to ever see
exactly.
them. And so I think, in fact, those names probably, I mean, Taylor Swift and Beyonce might be the exception here, but generally speaking, those legends, people have that fear. Like Prince, right? You're never going to get to see them again. So Rhiannon, were you able to see if there's a gender breakdown at all?
Yeah, so for 56% were female, 41% were male, 1.8% are non-binary, and then 0.4% transgender.
Okay.
Fascinating number. So again, for those of you who fell off your chair when our guest said $728, remember that's all encompassing, right? So that's your overnight stay, your ticket, your parking, your gas, whatever else. What was the the net number off that? 200 and what?
It was $281.46.
Okay.
There you go.
Which you went, what? Because that's expensive too, but that's the average people would pay.
Ticket.
Yeah.
That's just a ticket. But again, you found that people were much more willing to try to spend more to get better seats. What 60% said they'll spend more to get better seats, Rhiannon?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Great.
Hey, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Rhiannon O'Donohoe. There you go.
Interesting
That's the
research,
price.
hey? I wonder what people will make of this, like what the event bookers, like I think about Evenko, if they see that people are willing to spend this much, it doesn't bear...
Don't plant that idea in their
that's
heads.
what I mean. It doesn't...
Don't do that.
It doesn't,
So you mentioned Van Morrison. What was the year? You think
I'm
it's
guessing.
at least 10, 12 years ago?
I'm going to say 2010, 2011.
So I have a specific concert in my head. And so it's 1994.
Yeah.
The Eagles are on their Hell Freezes Over tour. So they had kind of broken up, and we thought they were done because the line was, "We're never ever going to be together again until Hell Freezes Over." So of course they called the tour the Hell Freezes Over tour.
And people might know this, but you're a huge Eagles fan.
big Eagles fan at the time. And so this is 1994. They're not coming to Montreal. They play Saratoga.
Okay.
So a couple hours down the road, we go to see the show. Before going, it was the first show, Eagles Hell Freezes Over Tour in 1994, that charged over $100 a ticket. It was $105.
1994.
And there was a big furor over, what, 100? At least be 50, 60, whatever. First major concert tour that charged over $100. How much does it cost to get in to go see Taylor Swift now? What is it? What's an average ticket for that show?
Oh, God.
$400, $500?
It's crazy.
So there's a little perspective. 1994.
But also to keep things into perspective, the Cure just played 2 nights at the Bell Center, $50 a ticket. Lizzo played sold out crowd, $88 a ticket. It can still be done for an affordable price. So I think it's up to the artist.
Well, I was going to say, I wonder how much of that is actually up to the artist and how much is up to the venue and the promoter, because the Cure's been around for a long time.
Forever.
But they're not exactly, they're not Taylor Swift. But $50 is a pretty good deal to go see a band, an established band. So that was a big surprise, number one.
And Robert
Great.
Smith was part of. He's the lead singer. He was and the guitarist. He played a pivotal role in making sure those ticket
Good for him.
prices stayed low.